Raider Nation, what's going on? This is a special edition of the Raiders Report. My name is Mitchell Renz, and I got some breaking Raiders news for you. Doug Martin is headed to the Oakland Raiders. The Raiders have been rumored to a running back all offseason, but I didn't think it would be Doug Martin. The Raiders still have Marshawn Lynch, so the move makes me scratch my head a bit. On the Raiders Report this week, I gave Doug Martin heading to Oakland 2 Chucky heads, and for the new viewers, that's a 50-50 chance that this is going to happen. Well, Raider Nation, according to Ian Rappaport, the Raiders have agreed to terms with former Bucs running back Doug Martin. Martin will play in Oakland for 1 year. The dollar amount is still in question. Martin met with John Gruden earlier in the week for a face-to-face meeting. Gruden came away from the discussion with Martin and, quotes, impressed with him as a person. The Buccaneers released the 29-year-old running back last month after 6 years with the organization. The Bucs selected him in the first round of the 2012 NFL Draft from Boise State. While Martin's numbers have lagged over the past 2 years, which also included a 4-game suspension for a violation of the league's drug policy, the Raiders could be a team where he'd fit right in and get back on track. But the question you may be asking yourself is, what does this mean for Marshawn Lynch? With Lynch due nearly $6 million in 2018, Oakland may consider parting ways with beast mode. Lynch turns 32 in April, and he could benefit from fewer carries in 2018. But back to Martin. In his 6 years, he has 2 seasons with over 1,400 rushing yards, but in his other 4, he hasn't surpassed 500. Martin, the last 2 seasons, has averaged only 2.9 yards per carry, but maybe the muscle hamster can get the wheel going in Oakland. The next one I have for you guys is Michael Crabtree has been released by the Oakland Raiders. This has been another one that we've been talking about a lot on the Raiders Report, and Michael Crabtree has been rumored to be leaving. And according to Adam Schefter, the Raiders have finally released Crabtree. This saves Oakland $7 million in 2018 and $7.5 million in 2019. While he has been a valuable player for Oakland, his drops, age, decreasing production, and salary created the perfect storm for him to get cut. Crabtree was also showing frustrations being in Oakland. He vented his frustrations with the Raiders and his usage following Oakland's final season game, and that seemed to be the seal's fate with the team. So, why has Crabtree been cut and released? Well, you may be asking yourself, it's because of the new guy that the Raiders just signed. Wide receiver Jordy Nelson. Yes, Jordy Nelson. According to former Packers and Raiders wide receiver and friend of Jordy Nelson, James Jones, he said that Nelson has signed a 2-year, $15 million deal with 13 of which guaranteed. Nelson has some connections with the Raiders organization. Oakland's general manager, Reggie McKenzie, was a longtime personnel executive with the Packers before heading to Oakland. Nelson is 32 years old and coming off a season where he had 53 catches, 482 yards, and 6 touchdowns. Last season was the first in Nelson's 11-year career where he was under 11 yards per reception. He was only at 9.1. Glass half full says it's because Aaron Rodgers was injured. Glass half empty says it's because he's maybe lost a step. Either way, he needs to step up for Oakland. But I want to know what you guys think. Would you rather have a guy like Jordy Nelson or Michael Crabtree? If it's Nelson, give me a heart. If it's Michael Crabtree, give me a like. Raider Nation, thank you so much for tuning in to the Raiders Report. My name is Mitchell Renz, and again, thank you so much for tuning in to the Raiders Report. And until next time, go Raiders.